This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich, founder of Abich Financial Services.
5 questions that your advisor should be asking you as you approach retirement. I'm Heather Branch. This is Abe Abich, founder of Abich Financial Services and financial advisor who has been helping folks get across their retirement goal line for almost 2 decades now. And of course, Abe and his team, they are here to help you do the same if you have questions. TheRetirementKey.com is our website. We also have links posted in the show notes. It's one of those things where it can feel very intimidating, but at Abich Financial, here to ease the process. So again, find us at TheRetirementKey.com.
Day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine?
I was just thinking that for those of us who grew up watching Mr. Rogers, I mean, I think he began when the Gen Xers were little kids, and now the Gen Xers, they're doing this thing, Abe, where they are approaching their retirement age. It's right. It happens to all of us. You and I are Gen Xers, so we know the space very well. We're going to give you some fun trivia facts getting into the conversation about what we need to be thinking about, questions that we should be answering as we get closer to retirement. Mr. Rogers, that song that we all grew up singing along with, bebopping our heads to after school. It's not the song that you exactly thought it was, because if you go back and pay attention, there was some jazz elements to the opening of Mr. Rogers. As it would turn out, the accompanying pianist that played along with him as he sang, never played the song the same way twice. I guess he would just, as I was saying, do some jazz, do some improv. And it's kind of like this idea of what we need for retirement. While it seems the same on the outside looking in, it might feel the same to the unassuming eye. We all need to have certain areas covered: taxes, income, healthcare. What am I forgetting? Protection, growth, all these things. But we all need, necessarily for the most part, probably a different approach, a different strategy, because we all have different wants and needs. So again, getting back to this point of what questions should, if we're working with an advisor, should our advisor be asking us that we need to be preparing for as we get closer to an effort to ensure that we do, in fact, have a plan that is not cookie cutter, Abe, that is catered to us, our needs, our goals, our wants?
Yeah, there are a handful of questions, obviously, that if you're working with an advisor, you're working with Abich Financial, you definitely want us to be asking you so we have a good idea of, hey, why did you save this money? And what do you want the money to do for you when you're alive and when you pass away? Mm-hmm. Right. And so I'd really encourage anyone watching and listening to this podcast to really imagine what your ideal retirement is going to look like. Imagine what your ideal retirement is. What are you going to be doing? What's going to be involved? Get it down on paper if you haven't already, that lifestyle plan and everything you're going to do to feel fulfilled for the rest of your life is extremely important. Get that down on paper, share it with your spouse, be on the same page, share it with your family. So that legacy also continues, all your values and what's most important to you and your family continue even after you're gone. Really, really important, especially if passing money on to your loved ones, kids, grandkids, charities of your choice is important to you. For a lot of people, it is. So question number 1 of 5. Yeah. Along the same lines here, if you could visualize your ideal retirement, what would that look like? And surprisingly, Heather, a lot of people come in and they're so focused on getting to a number. Maybe it's 3 million, maybe it's $1 million, maybe it's $500,000, maybe it's 5 million or 10 million. And they're so focused on the investment choices, like NVIDIA is doing awesome, I'm going to put more money into NVIDIA or Palantir, Tesla, and whatever. It's a lot of the Mag 7 to 10 oftentimes. They get so caught up on the return and the investment choices and the funds and all that stuff that they lose sight of their goals. Like, hey, well, why did I save this money? What is it? What do I want this money to do?
Right.
So people need to start thinking about that. And I would say, I don't know, at least 5 years before retirement. If you're 5 years or less away from full retirement, you better start thinking about it. Like, how could you go into retirement not having a plan and not knowing what you're going to do? In fact, a lot of people will come in, meet with us, become clients, and not retire until they really figure out what they want to do. Like when you stop working, this has filled up your life for the last 30 to 50 years.
What you're going to do with your time.
40 to 50 hours a week, that kept you busy.
Yeah.
What's going to keep you busy when you retire? What's the plan? And a lot of people will postpone retirement.
Okay.
until they have that lifestyle figured out. So
Makes sense.
what is that going to look like for you? Well, obviously, for everybody, it's going to be different. And, for a lot of people traveling, I mean, we have clients that want to travel the world. We have clients that want to go back on regular trips to Europe, Italy, and is always at the top of the list, and France and Spain and other countries. We have a lot of clients that travel during their career, and they're like, hey, I toured the world when I was with the government or in the military, and whatever their position was. A lot of clients travel during their career, and like, I got all my traveling done. That's behind me now. Now I just want to spend time with my grandkids and be here with them. But everyone's going to be different when it comes to how you want to spend your time. Again, it could be traveling. It could be just more time with family and grandkids. It could be fun things like playing golf, pickleball, spending more time on your interests and hobbies. But whatever that is, get that down on paper and make sure that you're pursuing all those dreams that you have. Your dreams shouldn't stop. So when we know what our client's ideal retirement looks like, man, then we can put together a plan that's really aligned, because we'll know, hey, next year our clients need $30,000 for that next trip to Europe, right? And
makes sense.
How should we invest the money? Where should we put it? How can we better plan for that? And so when we're in sync with our clients more and more like that, which we are, and when our clients really open up and tell us everything they want to pursue, then we put the financial plan and retirement plan together around that entire dream, around the client's objectives and interests and desires. And when it comes to legacy, some clients could care less about passing any money on to family. Like, my kids are set, they're doctors, they're attorneys, they've got more money than us, Abe, and so they're like, hey, if anything's left, they'll get it. A lot of clients want to spend every last dollar down, really spend it down and enjoy it. And then a lot of clients kind of a mix between enjoying it and passing money on. And then for a lot of people, passing on as much money as possible to their loved ones and charities is really important. So we want to get all that down.
Okay.
So first off, visualize your ideal retirement. What's that going to look like? 2, what's the age? This is kind of simple, but what's the age that you have in mind for when you hope to retire, and delving into the why behind the age. Like, you may say, well, I want to get to 65 because that's when Medicare starts and I can hop on Medicare. And at 65, my grandkids are going to be involved in more sports, and I want to be at the sporting events and games and things like that. But delving behind the why of retiring at a certain age is going to help us better understand how to put the plan together and provide us additional insights into our clients' motivations and lifestyle preferences and plans as well.
Got it.
What kind of experiences do you plan to spend money on in retirement? We've talked about this a little bit already. It could be travel. It could be more golf. It could be more time with the family, your interests and hobbies, volunteering. What does that look like for you, right? And how can we put together an income plan to help you accomplish everything you want to accomplish?
Okay.
Speaking of income, number 4, are there additional sources of income that you anticipate having during retirement that can help you to accomplish your objectives? Is there any inheritance money that could be coming from a parent, from a loved one, an aunt or an uncle, that could come in and help to give you a surplus, give you extra cash flow, give you more money to invest to help you accomplish your needs and objectives? Is there Social Security we haven't taken yet? Right? Does it make sense to defer Social Security a couple years, or does it make sense to start it now so you can enjoy more cash flow during your go-go years instead of waiting until your slow-go years in your 80s, right?
Right.
Maybe it's determining when to take Social Security. Maybe it's optimizing investment strategies, determining which accounts to tap for income, and obviously proactively addressing any gaps in retirement income, meaning for a lot of people, they've worked their entire lives and they get to retirement. And for a lot of people at the point of retirement, for the first time in their lives, they have to start taking money out of the retirement portfolio and accounts. And for a lot of people, especially those people that don't have significant pensions, they'll have to rely on certain amounts of income from their portfolio to bridge that retirement gap.
Okay.
Meaning, they might need $100,000 a year of household retirement income. Their Social Security might pay for $50,000 of that, $60,000, $70,000 of that. But they might need $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or much more sometimes from their life savings to help bridge the gap.
Got it.
Right. And so that's a very important thing that we typically address and find out in the first meeting. And believe it or not, more than 9 out of 10 people that walk through our doors have never had a roadmap and an income plan put together where they can see line by line, hey, here's my social, my wife's social, my pension, her pension, my 401k, her 401k, our IRAs, brokerage accounts, rental properties. How does that all come together to create a comprehensive income plan?
Okay.
Where's the income going to come from? Inflation adjusted. Is it going to last us into our 80s and 90s if we live that long? And so that's really, really important. I don't know how people go into retirement without a plan and without a roadmap, without an income plan, knowing exactly where the income's going to come from, and after taxes, how much is going to be in my bank account, and how much do I have to spend is what people want to know.
Yeah, of course.
And how long is it going to last?
Of course, of course.
Finally, health care. I'm not just talking about Medicare and Medicare supplements and things like that, or paying for your own health insurance before 65 if you retire early. I'm also talking about long-term care. And a lot of times people say some silly things. They'll come into the office and say, well, I'll just take care of myself, or I'll just, my spouse will take care of me, or a family member, or that's what my children are for. They'll take care of me if I have a long-term care need. But I'll tell you, sometimes some serious health conditions pop up that really need professional care, that really need like full-time nurses to come into the home and things like that. In fact, we just had it happen to a client. It was a huge surprise. They became clients of ours 5 or 6 years ago, around 60, 61.
Okay.
They retired early. They're now both 66. And the wife has just recently come down with, it appears, some pretty serious health conditions. And at 66,
wow, she
cannot do all of the activities of daily living, right? So she needs help showering, eating, getting her clothes on, moving from chair to chair. 66.
Wow.
66, and like while the husband is trying to help as much as possible, they need in-home care at this point.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they have some coverages and plans with us that'll be able to help them with additional cash flow from an insurance account and policy. However, what if they didn't have that?
Yeah.
They've been currently paying, until we had a recent conversation and discovered this, they're currently paying about $800 a week in out-of-pocket medical expenses. That's like $40,000 a year in unexpected and unplanned medical costs.
Yep.
Who's paying for that? Health insurance is not paying for it. We're talking out-of-pocket costs for in-home care, out-of-pocket costs for prescriptions and things like that that are not covered under regular health insurance. So there's a lot that goes into putting together a comprehensive plan, but you really want to think through all of these things. And when you have a comprehensive retirement plan, hopefully now you can see it's not just the investments, it's not just the insurance, it's your Social Security, it's your income, it's your taxes, it's your estate plan. One thing is, how do we address all of this while you're alive? But then how do we also address it when you pass away?
Right.
What do you want to have happen? And that comes via a well thought out and properly funded estate plan.
Okay.
So a lot of things to consider, but those are 5 things from this article that are really important and would be a really good start for anyone that is maybe 5 years or less away from full retirement, or maybe just into retirement that doesn't have a comprehensive retirement plan.
Another great starting place if you don't really know the questions that you should be asking yourself, questions you should be anticipating from a financial advisor if you're seeking that help. A great resource to tap into is Abe's book, The Retirement Mountain, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement. Is a quick and easy read, just a little over 100 pages, something you could read in a Saturday afternoon. And Abe took the time to write down the information, education, and experience that he has received by doing this work over close to 20 years. He's put it all down into a book for you because he wants you to have this information, be empowered with the education. Abe, talk about the book a little bit and what somebody can anticipate from reading this.
Yeah, well, we have what we call phase 1 and phase 2, right? The accumulation ascent, right? There's your working years. As you're accumulating, you're ascending up your retirement mountain. You haven't retired yet. You're trying to get to age 60, age 65, somewhere in that range for a lot of people. And then obviously you have what we call phase 2, the retirement descent. This is where people oftentimes need the most help, right? They may have the amount of money typically they need to retire and have that money last them the next 30 years, but they have no idea how to put it together, how to generate income, and how to protect it and preserve it all over a lifetime. So that book, The Retirement Mountain, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement, should act as a guide, is acting as a guide for a lot of people that read it, just helping people, the reader, to better understand everything or a lot of what they need to address and tackle and plan for at the point of retirement.
A lot of easy ways for you to read this book. Anybody who comes into the office for an appointment, we will give you a free copy of the book. There's also a PDF you can download and read the PDF version of it. Abe actually recorded the audio version of the book, which you can purchase on Amazon. So we've got links to everything as far as ways to get a copy so that you can read this book, post it in the show notes. You can also go to theretirementkey.com, click on the media tab, choose book. Again, just looking to empower you with education and information is the bottom line goal that Abe has through the book, this podcast, through his radio program. You just want to get this information out, of course. Abe and his team, that's what they're looking to do and help you with the questions that you have. So if you are ready to start the conversation about the personalized plan we were just discussing, we're here for you. Theretirementkey.com, again, is our website to go to begin the conversation. You can also click on the links we've got posted in the show notes, or it's theretirementkey.com.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit theretirementkey.com. And join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Abish Financial Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and the content of this communication has not been approved or verified by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or by any state securities authority. The information contained in this material is intended to provide general information about Abish Financial Wealth Management and its services. It is not intended to offer investment advice. Investment advice will only be given after a client engages our services by executing the appropriate investment services agreement. Information regarding investment products and services are provided solely to read about our investment philosophy and our strategies.